Oh no, someone left their bag, or they were throwing it away and it just didn't fit. It's a nice bag. We begin today's video in downtown Tampa, and because it's Veterans Day, there's a pandemic happening and a hurricane. Hurricane Eta is now coming straight to Florida. Because of all those, there's not too many people walking around down here. Just off of Kennedy Boulevard, this marker signifies that the Rough Riders passed by here. Good old Teddy Roosevelt. Welcome back to Florida Roadside Attractions, reporting live from Hurricane Eta. So far the winds aren't too bad. It's been raining all morning off and on. So that is why I thought it'd be fun to take a indoor adventure. We're gonna head to the Tampa Bay History Center. It's a big museum that sits right here in downtown, actually next to Armory Arena, the home of the Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. Go Bolts. But I thought we'd go inside today, explore a little bit of another Florida roadside attraction. All right, that being said, let's start the video right here at former City Hall, Old City Hall. There is much ahead, my friend. Because the Tampa Water Street district is under construction, I had to park right in front of Armory Arena, in front of the construction. The Tampa Bay History Museum is right there in between these two giant buildings. The Tampa skyline directly behind me, just to put things into better perspective. There you go. This building right here is one of the first to be almost completed for the Water Street Tampa project. Straight ahead, right down that pathway, is the Tampa Bay History Center. Walking alongside Armory Arena, I saw this dude. Check out this piece of artwork. That's insane. That's insanely awesome. And there she is. Finally, we're gonna head inside the Tampa Bay History Center. A special display set out here for Veterans Day, or this might be permanent, but it is saluting our veterans. Pretty cool to see this. Looks like photos with several quotes, timestamps of history. Oh wait, there goes the streetcar. Perfect timing. Well, look at there. Tickets must be purchased in advance. I guess I'll be taking my phone out and scanning that QR code. I was just very excited to learn that Ybor's famous Columbia restaurant has a satellite cafe here. Get some good Spanish cuisine, some good old Tampano food. All right, confirmation, $12.95 for an adult. Now I can go in. Yeah, first I gotta take down this umbrella. Bagged up my umbrella, and it looks like the exhibits begin up on the second floor. Wow, this looks exciting. I can't wait to get up there. Also, just noticed the sign on exhibit today, Sunshine State Showdown. It's good old dusty roads, as some of you may know. Wrestling began right here in Tampa. So did dusty roads. I chose the stairs, but there's also an elevator right there. Just so you know. Babe Ruth hanging there. Check out these neon signs, kind of hanging here in the atrium. So the fun begins underneath the Tampa Bay sign, heading into the gallery. Looking cool and awesome already. Looks like a museum in here. Immediately to the left, there's a theater playing a documentary called Winds of Change, Tampa 1528. Kind of gives you the rundown of the history. And over here to the right, we begin as we see Florida's first people, and it lists all the Native American tribes that once inhabited Florida, including Tampa Bay, which would have been the Tocobaga tribe. The Europeans came to Tampa Bay in the 1500s, led by Panfilio de Narvaez, the first conquistador to explore Tampa Bay. And check it out, there's some armor from the Spanish displayed here in the case. On display is some of the treasure discovered by Mel Fisher from the Spanish Armada. Silver and gold, my friends. Some Spanish silver and gold. Always cool to see these old canoes. This one definitely has seen better days. This museum is actually part of the Smithsonian, is an affiliate with the Smithsonian. We're starting here on the bottom and we're going to work our way up. Just like at Epcot, it says, living with the land. Florida's diverse environment provided an abundance of natural resources seminal and Miccosukee Indians found material to create tools, clothing, and crafts. Coastal areas offered a variety of shells and fish. Check out these hand-woven baskets and these wooden spoons there. Something we've talked a lot about on this channel, just because we run into all kinds of regions that it transpired. The Seminole Indian Wars. Tampa Bay Old Fort Brooke, which is just a couple blocks away from here now, the old Fort Brooke parking garage, mentioned and shown several times on this channel. Here's some of the forts and battles that took place throughout Florida, all the way up into the Panhandle. Looks like even in parts of Georgia, all the way over here to Pensacola. This giant photo has caught my attention. Silver Spring Seminole Indian Village. For most of the 20th century, tourism has been the lifeblood economy for the Native Americans today, known as the Florida Seminole and Miccosukee Indians. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coacoche Theater. This presentation depicts the entire story of the Seminole Indian Wars from the eyes of the Seminole warrior Coacoche, and this is his story.
Summer 1841, Central Florida. A young lieutenant named John T. Sprague was stationed at Fort Brooke in what is now downtown Tampa. Lieutenant Sprague kept journals, recording his experiences.
July 4th, 1841.
Listen.
No one answered this man.
What is that?
We knew that the cannon fire celebrated the freedom of 20 million Americans, but still, we kept silent. For this prisoner's only offense had been defending his home and the graves of his kindred.
The whites are now too strong. They come by land and in boats. Why should our women and children suffer any longer? We will go to the west. I'm looking at the last pine tree upon my land. I'm leaving behind the spirits of my ancestors, friends. I am alone. I'm going to my new home in Arkansas. I'm leaving Florida forever. I have done nothing to disgrace it. It was my home. I loved it.
Also on the bottom floor, inside the cigar store, depicting Tampa's cigar history, Cigar City, historic Ybor. Now inside the front door of the cigar shop, it's set up like an old cigar store. This gentleman is taking to his ledger, accounting. And here's some old antique cigar boxes. Look at those. Lucius. I've heard of Henry VIII, not Henry IV. There's all kinds of Henrys, but very cool to see these old Tampa cigar box. Rui Lopez. And there's Jose Villa. And across the way, over in this display case, the old tools to open cigar boxes. I've seen a couple of these before. Look at these. These are old hammers. Tampa nugget. Look at that pocket knife. When it comes to cigars, why Tampa? Because a humid climate like of Cuba was suitable for a cigar production. It had established transportation systems, included port and railroad facilities. It was just a perfect climate and location. There's so much going on here. I want to show it all, but obviously that's not possible. I'm going to highlight on the things that kind of sparked my interest, including this Santella Cigar Company building. Above that model, these old photos. Some of those, I think that Quixote Ray building is still in existence. But here's the model, and check it out. You can hit these buttons here, and I'll highlight the area of the cigar factory. And it looks like that's the third floor where the tobacco was prepared, where moistened leaves were stripped of stems. The delicate fingers of women and children performed this task before child labor laws. Hours rolling cigars were long, hot, and humid, and became routine and sometimes boring. So what did the factory owners do? They hired gentlemen like this guy, lectors, to read books and newspapers to kind of entertain what people were working. Here's an old book, Don Quixote De La Mancha, one of the oldest novels ever. I'm sure that's not an original copy, but it's close to it. That's old. Here's a photo here of a lecture over the workers. They were rolling cigars. It says lectors were chosen by a 3-person committee elected by factory workers who would audition and pay the lector on the behalf of the workforce. And as time went on and as technology progressed, the lectors were eventually replaced by the radio. Oh man. Radio killed the lector star. First level down, now to level 2, going up the stairs here. It's pretty fascinating. So much history, so much stuff I've learned so far that I didn't know. Now entering level number 2, your Tampa Bay, Su Bahia de Tampa. Let's see what's going on in here. So much ahead. This display is devoted to cowmen and crackers. And you can hit a button and jump on the saddle just like a cowboy or a cracker. I'm guessing it's this giant red button here. Yes. All right, let's get on this thing. Saddle up, partner. Whoa. Yeehaw. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. Move over, John Travolta. There's a new urban cowboy in town.
Oh man, that was fun. That is pretty fascinating stuff over there. All you need to know about the cattle industry here in Florida, the crackers and the cowmen. That was fun. This guy's over here too. He was watching. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Over here in the corner, this lovely display tells of the history of the Florida orange, the orange grove, the orange industry. And this guy over here, he's enjoying a slice of orange there. He's got a couple in his hand. Looks good. He's driving an old REO Speedwagon there. Look at that. R.E. Olds, founder of Oldsmobile, underneath the orange sunset. The beginnings of citrus. Significant distribution of citrus within the United States developed after Spain ceded the Florida territory to the United States in 1821. Florida oranges became part of the continental economy. I'm now inside the produce stand. Get a better look at the backside of that car. She's got a lot of oranges there. Port City. Let's see what this is about. From its humble beginnings as a natural harbor to its modern day ranking as one of our nation's largest and busiest ports. Now this is pretty cool. I don't know what this is. We're about to find out, but this looks like a shipping container. It's Ariel. Well, I don't know if it's Ariel, but it's definitely a little mermaid. A little wooden mermaid. The Sea Breeze Restaurant, cultural landmark located near Tampa Shrimp Docks on McKay Bay, was famous for its sunset views, devil crabs, and this mermaid that welcomed the visitors. This used to sit at the old Sea Breeze Restaurant. I never had the privilege or the pleasure to go. It closed down long before I arrived here. All kinds of videos. Check it out. You can crawl inside this shipping container and watch a video. Just gonna check it out for a moment. Gonna hit another red button here. Whoa. That's awesome.
Welcome to the Port of Tampa.
Ever pick up a car with a giant claw?
This is awesome.
Ever lift 245 tons and place it in the hold of a ship? I've done it. Done it all.
Done it all. Not even halfway done with this floor. Year-round play. What's oh, this looks like sports history. This is awesome. Lots of cool Tampa Bay sports memorabilia, including Barry Smith's jersey. Played for the Buccaneers. And over here, look, it's Tino Martinez's jersey and hat. And also his Louisville Slugger Award. I'll be darned, sitting right here in the museum. Oh yeah, shout out to the Steelers. I remember that Super Bowl. I tried to get tickets. I tried my hardest. They were expensive, and also I was broke. I was in college. Wasn't happening. But the Super Bowl is returning this year to Tampa Bay.
Yep. Connor myself.
Also some world football or soccer history. There's an old Tampa Bay Rowdies jersey. Anderson, number 12. On display is a piece of the original Bro Bowl, one of the first skate parks in all of America. One of the first public skate parks is right down here in Tampa. They call it the Bro Bowl. And this is a piece of the original one. It's been redone. Just sits north of downtown. I think we visited it before, but a long time ago. I need to go back out there and show you guys that again sometime. There's some cool history out there. Cool history in Tampa as far as skate parks. Skate Park of Tampa too. The infamous recount of the year 2000. On display here is an old voting booth. On display the Chads from the 2000 election right there. The Hanging Chads. And there's a ballot from that year. George W. Bush, Al Gore, Ralph Nader, James Harris, just to name a few of the candidates. The birth of the airline industry began in St. Petersburg on January 1st, 1914. The St. Petersburg-Tampa airboat line. These right here are trench art. These were 75mm artillery rounds that were manipulated into art by soldiers in World War I over in France. That is pretty creative. I guess if you spend a lot of time in the trenches, you would have to be creative. This room is a display of alligator border postcards just before the turn of the 20th century. Two iconic activities emerged that represented an excursion to Florida, seeing alligators and sending postcards to folks back home. And these are some of the postcards all blown up. Let's check them out. The United States of America Courthouse of downtown Tampa. Now La Meridian Hotel, right on Florida Avenue. And of course, you'd let your family know you stayed there and you saw gators. This one is a bird's eye view, or an alligator's eye view of downtown Tampa. There's the United States Courthouse, the church which still stands there, the cathedral, and the old Hillsborough County Courthouse, which is long gone. This would have been about, this is probably Franklin Street with the Tampa Theater. Tampa Theater would have been right over here. And here's the old Hillsborough County Courthouse, long gone. That dome though, that dome still sits in downtown Tampa. And there are 22 postcards on the wall. Wish I could show them all, but come on down and see them for yourself sometime. So the way I've been doing it today, I'm just kind of walking around and selecting things that kind of spark my interest. Hope you're enjoying what I'm picking out. There's all kinds of history. It would take me hours and hours of video to capture everything. And that's what I'm hoping to inspire you to do, is to come out here sometime and take a look at the history for yourselves. Heading up to level number 3 now. The Sunshine State Showdown, the pro wrestling of Tampa Bay. Some old wrestling flyers. Rubberman Johnny Walker and Rocky Colombo. Down here, Amazing Judy Grable, America's favorite girl wrestler. And a TV star, according to that. This display here talks of America's first wrestling matches beginning by the Native Americans. And it says here that a young George Washington, a master of the collar and elbow style, won a local wrestling championship in Virginia. What you gonna do, brother? Hulk Hogan's words highlighted there on the wall. Hulk Hogan is from Tampa Bay, as most of the wrestlers that you will see here on display. The Fort Homer Hesterly Armory was ground zero for Tampa wrestling from the 1950s to the 1980s. Showed it once before. There's a postcard of the old Fort Homer Hesterly, still there today. It's been restored. That's where wrestling began. Also, John F. Kennedy once spoke in there, Martin Luther King, and I believe the Rolling Stones and James Brown performed. A lot of history inside of old Homer Hesterly. It's where wrestling began, where the NWA began. There's an old flyer there. Check that out. Here's one of the original NWA belts, the National Wrestling Alliance, from 1973 to 1986. This is pretty cool. It talks of all the the jargon of wrestling, actually provides a little game here. You match up the word with the definition. Heel, the nemesis of the face and the fans, usually a dastardly anti-hero wrestler or manager who cheats and insults faces and the audience. Last but not least, let's go with pop. A positive reaction from the crowd, which often occurs when a face does something good. The crowd's a-poppin'. Got some wrestling going over here on the wall. Got some John Cena to the left. And if you smell what The Rock is cooking up over here.
All the Rock fans are through chanting his name. Two things, rock bottom, wham. One, people's elbow, wham. The clock went on. Still, the people's chant.
I went to one SmackDown before in Indianapolis. Got to see him wrestle, it was awesome. He's cooking? There you go. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And right below his words is his father. Rest in peace, just recently passed away, but there's Rocky Johnson, the Soul Man. Original name Wade Douglas Bowles. Born August 24th, 1944. Passed away January 15th, 2020. Rocky Johnson transitioned from boxing to squared circle wrestling and broke down racial stereotypes in front of cheering fans. On display, kind of looking out at his son over there, Rocky Johnson's robe and his wrestling boots. It's better to see it from the front, huh? That's a pretty cool looking robe too. Rocky Johnson. And the Doctor of Thugonomics also lives in the Tampa Bay area, John Cena. John Felix Anthony Cena, that's his whole name. Brutus the Barber Beefcake and his titanium steel blades. And check it out, his blades are right here on display. That is pretty awesome. Check out the old program there with him holding the actual shears there. The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah. There's Macho Man right there. He was from Tampa also. I was really sad to hear the news when he passed. I remember that day, back in 2011, right here in St. Petersburg. Terry Gene Bollea from Clearwater, Florida. You know him as Hulk Hogan. The Briscoe brothers. Jack and Gerald Briscoe were a dynamic tag team duo that won title belts throughout the country in the 1970s and 1980s. This is a pretty fascinating display. This was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know I was going to find this here today. Mr. Wonderful was from Tampa. Paul Orndorff Jr. was a running back for the University of Tampa. As we know, managed by Rowdy Piper. Judy the Barefoot Contessa Grable. Those circus performers are wonderful people. That's what she was quoted to say. She joined the Ringling Brothers Circus and walked the high wire. She gave up carnival life for wrestling. American made, brother. No ring, no ref, no rules. Hulk Hogan and no holds barred. I never saw that. I've never seen it. And of course, I don't think there's another wrestler that has a bigger movie career than that dude right there. That was a good movie too. I like that, the sequel to the Jumanji. So I was just informed by a staff member of the museum that the museum will be closing in about an hour because Hurricane Eta is amped up and is getting closer. So I'm gonna move through here. Almost done though. We got one more display and then I gotta make it back home through the storm. Sunshine State Showdown. Just want to roll the camera there for a second. Treasure Seekers, Conquistadors, Pirates, and Shipwrecks. And it looks pretty amazing in here. There's a ship up there and an old cannon right here. The ship kind of goes off that way. And it looks like we're going to walk all the way around this ship. Lots to see right here. Let's see what we can find. This is one of 4 cannons that was found in a Mediterranean Sea shipwreck. Just kind of gives you an example of what the cannons look like back there on the ships back in the day. That's pretty cool. There's like a hologram up there, a pirate on the ship. You can walk around it, go this way. But I think first I might walk inside Oh, another presentation, another theater in there. What's around here? Roll out the guns. Here are a few old weapons you would find on a ship. This one called a blunderbuss. This is a British flintlock pistol. And a Spanish Nicolette pistol. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then you have the cutlass. Typical looking pirate sword. This is pretty sweet. A map depicting all the shipwrecks of Florida. You hit the buttons here and it'll light them up. Well, many stories about the expedition of Panfilo de Narvaez, which we learned is the first conquistador to come to Tampa Bay. One that is seldom mentioned is the wreck of one of his ships on its return to Cuba after the conquistador separated his land and sea forces. It was one of the 4 attached to the expedition, sinking off the coast of Sarasota in the summer of 1528. All right, making our way around the bow of the boat. I think it's pretty cool. Just sitting there in the middle of the museum. Eye-popping. Journey across the Atlantic. Let's see what this does. Turn knob to activate map. Oh, look at that. It's the pathway of the conquistadors. The shape we're in, early maps of Florida. Let's start with this one. This map is from 1594. Look at the shape of Florida, or La Florida, as the conquistadors called it. That is pretty fascinating. And then down here you have Cuba, which looks much smaller on this map. Everything looks closer together, and there's Jamaica. Over here you have the Yucatan Peninsula. And as time unfolds, the maps start progressing. This is from 1724. Florida's starting to take a little better shape there. Gulf of Mexico. Notice how large the Tampa Bay area is there. And it looks like they thought at the time you could go all the way around Pinellas County, which you probably could through an inlet, but not that large. There's also a demonstration on how pulleys work. See if I can pulley this up. There we go. Oh, it's pretty heavy. And squeaky. Needs some grease. The ship of no surrender. Looks pretty cool. And over here, looks like a treasure chest. It is a treasure chest. Look. There's a box within a box there. And there's the key. Strongbox key. Like the strongbox, the key was also made of iron. Often the keyhole was a fake intended to frustrate a thief. The real keyhole was usually well hidden. Iron strongbox. Or a treasure chest. Well, I just learned that they issued a tornado warning for outside, so they told me not to leave for the next 15 minutes. Although I'll probably be here for a little longer. This is where you exit that theater. Let's take a look at the theater. Wow, a lot like the one downstairs. A lot of interactive stuff going on in here with the video starting in 56 seconds. The doors opened up. I came in through the exit. Very cool. You just sit right here and watch the video. Like you're on a ship. This is a pretty awesome museum.
If you could all come closer. Yes, come forward. You need to read.
Oh, it looks like stuff's going on in there too. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean in here. Almost 100 years ago, October 1921, they had a hurricane. Came right up the bay, and here's some old photos of the aftermath. Look at that. Looks like a schooner. All the way up on land, it appears to be there. And there's some flooding there. Looks like 7th Avenue in Ybor. And here's a look all the way down the stairwell. Walked all the way up from the bottom, actually from the 2nd floor. Notice the social distance markers. Well, I've got a nice little walk, a treacherous walk through all of that to get to my car. I was just notified that a tornado was spotted in South Tampa, and that most of the people that were out here went inside that door over there for a few minutes because of the fierce wind outside and the talk of a tornado. Oh boy. Babe Ruth right there above me. pretty cool. Okay, I gotta get back to my car somehow. All right, guys, I'm outside. I'm a couple blocks away from my vehicle. I don't know if this umbrella will be a good thing. I don't know if I should just run, but here we go. Hope I don't fly away. Oh, yeah, that's a gust of wind right there. Holy crap. I think I might just pull this thing up and run. The wind's behind me, so that's good. I've got the umbrella behind my back. It's kind of pushing me and shielding me. And this is what's happening right now. I'm about ready to fly away like Mary Poppins, y'all. So much for the umbrella. I got behind this building and the wind died down a little bit. My car's right there. Almost home. Oh, sorry about that. Put water on the lids. Is that better? Hurricane Eta! I better get home. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. After I buckle up. Thumbs up, thank you. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. It was a bit of a rush journey because of the weather. I do apologize, but I hope you still had fun. I know I sure did. Gotta drive home safely. I better put this camera down. Thanks for joining me, guys. Wouldn't be the same without you. I look forward to seeing you next time. There's much ahead. Oh, well, that explains everything. She's coming this way.